Hey everyone, it's Pelvic Bone Ekotaku, and it's time for another toy bargain hunting outing. I know you're all excited to start, but there's no need to rush. You don't want to trip and break something. Let's go with the flow and write things out. Before that, if you enjoy the content, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and sub to the channel. Additional methods of support include Patreon and Supers. And really, I set up chairs for villagers to enjoy the stream, but stupid turd squirrel Ione insists on sitting on the floor and blocking the walkways. That's why rule breakers like her get a smackdown. Pro tip, don't be like Ione. We're doing this on Sunday rather than Saturday because Target Circle Week started on October 4th and I wanted to include it in this outing, so here we are. The card section isn't showing anything different, but we got these huge blind boxes that contain plush bag clip characters. I feel like merch like this wasn't really a thing in US retail chains until the advent of Labubus. Though these Baby 3 characters don't rip off the blind box sensation, it seems like they came about due to the Labubu craze. Baby 3 released 1 month after Labubus blew up, so there we go. Let's move on to the toy section to see if the discounts got any better, and I'm seeing more 50 and 70% off clearance tags, which seems good, but are any of those tags for things I want? For this section, it's an easy no, and I don't think that Marvel Legends Chris Evans action figure is ever going on clearance. I've seen that in Tom Holland Spider-Man sitting on Target shelves for around 3 or 4 Circle Week periods. One thing that I was tempted to get that was 70% chance off was this DC Superpowers T-Craft Mr. Terrific high-tech vehicle. Bit of a mouthful there. I read up on this thing and saw that Superman was a passenger on this vehicle. It seems odd to me that Superman would ever choose to be in a vehicle when it's so inefficient for him, but whatever, it's not that deep. Speaking of things that aren't that deep, here's the discounts on the Masters of the Universe action figures. Don't be fooled, sure there's a big 50% off tag on Lion-O there, but he's only 30% off. The correct tag above shows 30, and when I scanned the action figure, it confirmed that was the correct discount. Not good enough for me. As for the Sonic merch, there really wasn't anything that was discounted, and I was hoping these Pixel digital packs would have got clearance prices, but it wasn't the case. I know Circle Week is meant to compete with Prime Day, but it doesn't seem like there's significant deals in the toy section. The best we got is 25% off if we spend certain amounts. Clearance prices seem to be separate from Circle Week, and they continue for weeks after it ends. I'll keep coming back to check if the clearance stuff receives further price drops. How have your clearance sections at Target been doing lately? Find anything good? Let me know in the comments. The only other merch that had deals going on were the Funko Pop figures. Buy 2 get 1 free, and they were excluded from the 10 clams off 40 and 20 smackers off 75 deal. Depending on what you get, that's going to be anywhere between 90 to 100 dimes a pop, and that's not much of a deal in my opinion. It's time for the next stop of the day, Ross. The end cap sucks and my usual path was blocked by an employee on our phone, so let's go this way. These shelves used to be part of the toy section, so even outside of the holiday season, the toy section have 5 long shelves dedicated to it. But enough with the history lesson, let's start looking for stuff. There's plenty of things here and it's a bit of a mess, but that's alright. We're long used to it now. It's a lot of the same merch we've seen over the past few weeks, so we'll gloss over that. It's still a major sad face to see that Muscle Mommy MHA figure for $18. Here's Jedi Master Trinity from Matrix the Acolyte, and next is a Ross First Timer, a One Piece Dashuko Sabo Logia Special Edition. $20 is a new standard for One Piece figures for the most part, but there are some higher price outliers unfortunately. It's a little odd, these Best Action TMNT Rat King action figures just came back and they already got hit with clearance prices. I think it's only been 3 weeks and that's quite fast. There's a ton of stuff that's been warming shelves for much longer and have yet to receive price cuts. That Power Girl Funko Pop figure in particular, and now let's switch to the end cap. A lot of the same stuff is happening here, but there are a few different things. Unfortunately, one of them is another 15 clam Transformer reaction figure by Super 7, Cheetor from Beast Wars. I don't know why Ross keeps doing this. I love seeing Transformer stuff, but I get so deflated because those are total dick sucker prices. I knew this would make its way back to Ross, a Best Action TMNT Rocksteady action figure. This is one of the better looking action figures from this line, and he's still $10. Too bad it wasn't 8. And of course, you can't have Rocksteady without Bebop. This is the 80s color variant. There are a few parts that have different colors compared to the original, but the main thing is, this version looks more vibrant. I won't be getting these because I bought both of them around this time last year. It's amazing how these appeared on Ross shelves just before Red Table season both this year and last year. Oddly enough, we have a 10 clam Rat King, and this Super 7 Scarlet reaction figure took a price drop to $7. It's still too high, but hopefully that isn't the only Super 7 reaction figure that takes a price hit. Switching back to the shelves, here's a Fig Life Monkey D. Luffy Gear 5 version at a lame price of 22 Sacagaweas. At the bottom shelf, there is this rather interesting Mandalorian action figure with very cartoony cartoonish proportions, almost like a 90s wrestling action figure. 40 quarters for this sucker with Lego-like hands, and nearby, we have another Star Wars action figure. Here's Hera Syndulla as she appears in Star Wars Rebels. The price tag is one greenback higher than usual for these action figures at Ross, but if you like the character, it's not bad considering she goes for about 1800 bells on the Zon. It's time for my local Pokemon Center vending machine. I was glad to see it now dispenses Mega Evolution products and Prismatic Evolutions ETBs. Sadly, all of those products were sold out, but there was a White Flare bundle. I really struggled on whether I should get this or not, as I already have a White Flare ETB. The White Flare bundle is still rather pricey online with a market price of 5,000 pennies, but I'm hoping I could trade this for either a Black Bolt or Mega Evolution bundle. Despite how difficult it's been to get Pokemon TCG products, I could proudly say that I have not once given in to handing over my hard-earned dollars to the scalpers. The vast majority of my Pokemon TCG purchases have been through Pokemon Center vending machines, and specifically this one. To my fellow enjoyers, have you been able to get any Pokemon TCG products at MSRP? If so, what did you get, and how many times were you successful? It's been about a month since the last time I got something from this machine on camera being the key words, and it was a Surging Sparks bundle. I did nab a Stellar Crown booster pack sometime the previous week, but as I was grocery shopping, I wasn't in recording mode. Let's move on to Burlington. I think it's been 2 weeks since I was last here, so let's see if anything's changed. And so far, it hasn't. We have these Dragon Ball Flash trading figures that are plaguing almost every discount store, and we have the same old TMNT action figures. Great start. Let's see what other amazing stuff is in store for us. I feel like I should avoid Burlington until... Oh no, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Another one of those stupid remote control helicopter figure things. Look at how they massacred our boy. If the end cap didn't set the mood, the travesty of what those bottom tier Sonic items are definitely cemented it. Although Burlington can have some good finds occasionally, it's way more hit than miss. If I had to rank Burlington out of all the discount stores I go to, it definitely fills out the bottom alongside Marshalls and TJ Maxx. Well, here's something new and interesting. We have knitted Kirby plushies. He's napping and he's got a sleeping cap on, which isn't knitted, but that's a good contrast to the rest of the plushie. It's pretty cute if you ask me, and it feels like it's a good quality. I think any Kirby fan would enjoy this. He goes for 17 buckaroos at Burlington, and that's not much lower than eBay. If your Burlington stores don't have them, getting one on eBay is a decent alternative. There wasn't anything else new at Burlington, so we're gonna skip over that fluff and head over to Ross to potentially see even more fluff. Our first find at this Ross is on our left. It's a plushie of Alex from Minecraft, and next to her are one of those Grandista Sage Naruto anime figures, and here's a DC Superpowers action figure of Batman for 40 dimes. I saw this at DD's discounts not too long ago for the same price, so if you missed this at DD's, you got another shot at Ross. There's a handful of anime figures, and the same goes for them Beetlejuice figures. They don't look that interesting, so I'll skip over those and check out some stuff we've seen way too many times. It looked like we were off to a good start with them Ross first timers, but it quickly degenerated into repeats and discount store slop. I'm hoping that Homer Simpson action figure lasts long enough to be part of the pre-holiday season clearance. Actually, I'm hoping all of this stuff ends up on the pre-holiday season clearance so we have less of a chance to see it during that time. After a not so thorough investigation of the shelves, I determined nothing else of interest that we haven't already recently seen is present. The same goes for this end cap except for the solid gold DC Superpowers Wonder Woman action figure. This was also at DD's discounts a few weeks back, so I wonder if I'll encounter Superman and the Riddler, which I found alongside Wonder Bread and Batman. It's been over 2 months since I last saw this, and given the terrible condition of the packaging, I wonder if this Marvel Legends Tombstone action figure is old stock. Fellow bargain hunters, has this action figure resurfaced at your Ross stores? Let me know. Everything else on the end cap is old news. I tried seeing if DC Superpower Superman and the Riddler action figures were here, but no dice. The vast majority of this stuff is destined for the bargain bin. I mean, who really wants an All Elite Wrestling Red Velvet action figure? Not me. The only thing left to cover is a huge Brainiac tiny Batman action figure set for 12 smackers. They really don't look that great, overly cheap and plastic looking, so it's an easy pass. With all that out of the way, it's time to head over to DD's discounts. Oh, they moved the plushies over here, and look at all those mermaid pushines. Been seeing a lot of her lately. We got the huge Hugmies up top, and down low we got a familiar face, Orson the Cheeseburger. This is the first time I've seen Halloween food squishmallows at DD's discounts, and I'm guessing we'll see the others soon. DD's discounts has been in a bit of a slow phase recently. Sure, I found stuff at DD's 2 weeks ago, but the last time before that was another 4 weeks prior. Despite the slowness at DD's discounts, I'm sure you could do the opposite by smashing the like and sub buttons as fast as you can. Or maybe you could hype up the atmosphere and help spread the deals to fellow bargain hunters. Remember, we're all on the same same team and we should help each other out. Anyways, back to whatever the hell we were looking at. And what we're looking at are these Funko Snaps 5 Guys at Freddy's action figures. Each pack comes with a complete character and they can be swapped with other figures in the same line, so they're a bit similar to the Marvel Mix Mashers I bought last week. They're $5 each and that's a little high for my liking. 6 or 8 Kennedy coins would be the sweet spot for me. I only saw Bonnie and the titular Freddy. That was pretty much it for this DD's discounts. There was nothing else to report. Nope, absolutely nothing. No weird soldiers nor ninja knights were anywhere to be seen. With that out of the way, let's move on to another Ross. Bet you didn't see that one coming. I haven't picked up much today, but hopefully there's something really cool and worth getting, assuming I don't already have it. Oh, right on cue. We have this really nice glitter and glamour's Boa Hancock anime figure. It's not that often that I see Boa Hancock figures at discount stores, and I think I've only seen 3 different figures, this one included. Sure, this is a prize figure, but she's looking really nice and any Boa Hancock enjoyer would love this. I scooped this up immediately, but before I left the toy section, I saw that the figure had been opened. I checked the contents and it looked like everything was still sealed and intact, but the fact that someone opened the box deterred me enough to put her back. If I see another one in the future, maybe I'll get her, but it did suck to refuse this one. Moving on to the rest of the toy section, we got another returning Star Wars Black Series action figure, Shin Hati, as she appeared in the Ahsoka miniseries, and next to her, we have one of those scuffed, off-brand, not Labubu Labubus, Mochi Monsters. For whatever reason, Ross sells these for 20 quarters when DD sold them for 28 quarters. If anyone's gonna have a lower price, it's typically the latter. I took a bit of an L buying one from DD's discounts. I noticed something interesting on the very top shelf. It was a Grandista Luffy Special Edition anime figure. That's a bit out of my reach, so I had to boost myself up on the bottom shelf, and thankfully, it didn't give out. Oops, I accidentally slammed that on the ground just a tad bit. I already know this is gonna be on the pricier side as it's much bigger than the other anime figures at Ross. Well, $23 is still lower than I expected. I was thinking 25 clams or higher. I still think that's worth the price tag as these are $49 shipped from Big Bad Toy Store. Well, maybe I was wrong about the Grandista Naruto figure we saw earlier. I said 23 bucks wasn't a good price for that, but it turns out it actually was. There's a lot going on with these shelves and a good amount of it is stuff we've seen before, but you know what? I should at least have one time where I don't cut out all the fluff. Maybe there will be something that I missed with my own eyes that I'll notice while editing. I know a bunch of you have eagle eyes, so if you see something that you think is cool that I glossed over, timestamp it in the comments and let me know what you think I missed. There's still plenty of Cuposket figures to be found. I know I saw the Sleeping Beauty recently, but I can't remember if that footage ended up on the cutting room floor or not. Whatever the case is, it's in a video now. I'm pretty sure I said this last time, but I'm kinda surprised the Banjo-Kazooie Funko Pop figures are still around. They're such popular characters that I thought their Funko Pop figures would have sold out immediately at Ross prices. Maybe everyone who wanted one bought one already and there's just too big a surplus. Sometimes interesting anime or action figures get mixed up in the girls' toy section, but it wasn't the case this time. I know I say this a lot too, but this Ross has the biggest toy section out of all the discount stores I go to, minus Five Below. I just realized this Ross removed the dog beds that they put back at the very left of the toy section a few weeks prior. I didn't see much new stuff at this end cap, but it's been a minute since this Fortnite solo mode Malik action figure was at Ross. He's only $3 and he comes with the Crystal Wings Wrap DLC code. I can't remember if I have this already, but I'm gonna pass. You know, you could probably make your money back by selling the DLC code online and make this effectively a free figure purchase. I actually missed the Fortnite solo mode action figure as it was obscured by that mini basketball court thing there. It was Moisty Merman. There's not much to report here. The only thing worth noting is the T-Rex reaction figure dropped to 11 buckaroos, which is still not low enough for me. The highest I'll pay is 7 Sacagaweas. Moving over to another shelf, and I found what I believe is another Ross first timer, a One Piece Battle Record Collection Marco anime figure for 20 pieces of cabbage. Not something I'm interested in, and hopefully it sticks around long enough to go on clearance. Let's switch over to the opposite shelf in this aisle, and it's pretty much the last area to check out at this location. I did notice this makeup set thing with a character that's clearly supposed to be a Labubu but isn't. Technically, what's next for scuffed Labubu merch? And what the hell is this? I said a few weeks ago that if I saw a NECA Ultimate action figure of Goliath, I would get it, and here we are. I'm gonna open up the front flap to get a peek at the action figure. Unfortunately, the glare makes it a bit hard to see, but trust me, it's damn cool. Just look at the promo shot on the left. Freaking amazing. Obviously, this is a video game version of Goliath. As you can see, the box is modeled off a Sega Genesis game cover. NECA even modified their logo to look like the Sega logo. The overall presentation for this action figure is great. I'm looking forward to opening this up. I still can't believe that something I hoped would show up came around in such a short time. Now I'm really gonna keep my eyes peeled for a NECA Ultimate Demona action figure. We're at another DD's discounts, and after such a huge find like Goliath, I'm not really concerned if I don't find anything else for the rest of the outing. If there's more stuff, it's just icing on the cake or bonus material. I'm surprised those Zapdos Pokemon Select action figures haven't moved at 1,300 pennies. We got Tie-Dye Bonnie, but who really cares? I thought this Transformers Legacy United 3-pack was gonna be a rare find when I first saw it at Ross, and now it's at DD's discounts as well. This has become a common sight, but who knows how long it'll last. If you want it, don't wait too long. And I didn't know Barney the dinosaur was still around. This version of the character looks less creepy compared to my childhood version. There's not much happening here. It's the same old squish-along sets I've been seeing for months without a price reduction, and I have no clue what Iron Man's looking at. Maybe he's pointing me towards another find, and I guess that was the case because here's a Masters of the Universe Hot Wheels car set. I love Motu, but I want the action figures, not Hot Wheels cars. I'm gonna pass on that. Up next we have a Pokemon Mega Block set that's a discount store first timer, an aquatic adventure set featuring Psyduck, Squirtle, and Finneon. $12 is pretty good and it goes for double that online. Let's go back to this and give it a fair shake. For anyone interested in both Hot Wheels and Motu, here's what the cars look like. I think Man-at-Arms and Beastman look the best. Moving on to the plushies, we got a pufferfish that isn't anything special, and we also have a few Squishmallows here. On the main shelf, we have more Pokemon plushies. In particular, the Sleeping Pikachu plushie is here now as well. Yeah, whatever. This was 17 greenbacks at Ross, and it's the same price at DD's discounts. One of the Psyducks I saw before is still here, and there's also both the Sleeping Snorlax and Scorbunny. Only two more things left to highlight here. First is this Bendy Brick Toy set by Fat Mojo. They also made the Piggy Brick Toy set that we've seen at various discount stores. And second, this Ninja Strike Batman action figure. It looks a lot better than the other Ninja Strike Batman action figures I've seen recently. As for the price, $8 isn't much of a deal. Amazon sells this for a whopping 5 cents less, so if you want this, you might as well buy it on the Zon and save yourself the trip. Before we wrap up things at this DD's discounts, let's stop over to this rack with collectibles on it. Right off the bat, we have an Age of Heroes Lemillion figure for 13 clams. Anyone remember that brief moment where all MHA figures at Ross and DD's discounts were going for 10 bucks? Those were some good times. I heard of Builder before, and I'm guessing they're the new kid on the block. Pun intended. Anyways, for 100 dimes, you could get a Chainsaw Man build set. It looks pretty good to me, and also with the chainsaw, we have Handy Smurf. No propositions, please. Thank you for understanding. Down here, we got some more Moltres Pokemon Select action figures. Again, if you're looking to get these at a discount store, go with DD's discounts because they're cheaper here than they are at Ross. I have no clue what those bird things are, but given the presence of clearance stickers, I guess no one wants them. I swear, I keep getting trolled when it comes to finding the Be Cute Bunny's Rem figure I want. I'm going for the black bunny suit version, but every time I find that color, it's of the wrong twin, and when I find the right twin, it's of the wrong color. ReZero stuff still maintains a $15 price point at DD's as well, but we'll see if that lasts. The Dragon Ball Z figures are still in the 2,000 penny range, and oddly enough, this memorable Saga Naruto figure is back down to 60 quarters. Now we're done here, and we're moving to the penultimate stop of the day, Five Below. Halloween is approaching, and Five Below is still knee-deep in Halloween goods. Here's a Halloween version of a Hello Kitty RC hoverboard. I already own the default version of this, so I don't feel the need to get a Halloween variant. If I see a Christmas version, however, I might be all over that. The rest of the Sanrio stuff was repeats, so I'm not going over all of that again. Actually, most of the stuff was the same compared to the last time I was at the specific Five Below. I just wanted to check the sticker rack since I found some good stuff here. The wife and I really like Mimi and Neko, and we use those stickers on Messenger all the time. We think they're cute and funny. We still have a bunch of stickers of this pair, so I'll pass for now. The last time I was here, I found this awesome sticker book of the adorable Sugar Cubs. After finding that, I wondered if there were more sticker sets to be had of Mocha and Latte, and it turns out there was more. Right here. Geez, I didn't think it was going to happen that fast, and speaking of fast, that's exactly how I'm going to buy the sticker set. Before I leave, I'm gonna get me some blue raspberry airheads. I'm only gonna pick those, so this may take a few minutes.
One eternity later.
So I did get the airheads, but in my haste, I did forget to record the part where I acquired them. So I'll just play the jingle now to make up for it. Anyone want a statue of an NHL player for an affordable 40 dimes? No? Didn't think so. That was a Ross first timer, and I hope I don't see it anymore. There's KB again today, and it looks like the panel spectacle Hiruzen Sarutobi is on clearance. Took long enough, and I think this is the only Ross that still has an Anime Heroes Renji Aburai action figure, and one that's not discounted. This is the last stop of the day, so let's keep going. That was just a Pokemon Select Lucario action figure. Oh my god, there's another Anime Heroes Renji Aburai action figure back there. We got some garbage UFC merch here as well, like really, NHL and UFC stuff. Not exactly the kind of sports where there's crossover with figure collectors. At least, I haven't experienced it. This Ross is pretty much full of repeats seen from the previous Ross stores, and not exactly the more exciting recent repeats, mostly the stuff that's just too damn expensive. Yep, it's all stuff that really needs to be cleared out before Red Table season. To do that efficiently, Ross needs to drop all the stuff that won't move to 49 cents. I saw some Ross stores do that last year, and they need to do it again to make room because I know it's gonna be chaos. This DC Superpowers Aquaman was $1 less, but I assume it's because the packaging was open, and this Best Action TMNT Casey Jones action figure was reduced as well. Same with the Shadow Panther, and I get the feeling it's because the Super 7 Transformers were not originally priced to move. There's nothing else worth looking at anymore, so let's skip over to the checkout area, and I could say the same thing here. It's a bunch of unremarkable Funko Pop figures, Limit Breaker Broly action figures that have been warming spaces for ages, and here's a busted up Acolyte action figure. The only new thing here was a Star Wars Black Series action figure of R5-D4 from The Mandalorian. I thought it was a cool droid. It showed its fighting chops taking out those Imperial mouse droids at the end of Season 3. At 600 pennies, buying R5-D4 was an easy choice. It was another great outing, and at some point I thought my only find was going to be the White Flare booster bundle, but after I found Goliath, more stuff started pouring in. And with that, we finish another toy bargain hunting outing. If you made it this far, type
Goliath Online
in the comments. Once again, thank you for coming along for the ride, and I really appreciate your support. If you have some more time on your hands, please check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you there. If not, I'll see you later.